Why the formation of political formation is behind schedule is the reason why Ruto is very arrogant. If we can have a formation and identify who could be the government, alternative government now, Ruto sees that 2027 might not be a walk in the park for him. I'm telling you, the man will reform. But the man is arrogant because he knows that you can say Ruto must go. But you have no alternative. If you put Kalonzo versus William Ruto, let me say you Kalonzo will go home in the morning. And Redemptor, I don't even think Kalonzo is an option. Don't even imagine. He's not. We met with him in Kitengela. I was supposed to make a speech where Kalonzo was, and Kalonzo is putting his head to stop me from speaking. Eventually, the judge shouted that I must speak. And when I made my speech, what Kalonzo was saying was not even making sense after I spoke. So Kalonzo cannot beat William Ruto because William Ruto knows Kalonzo more than even we know him. Kenya tuko kabila mbili ama farasi mbili. Wenye wanatuibia ni wezi. Is Kalonzo there? Yes. Raila there? Yes. Is Ruto there? Yes. Is Gachagua there? Yes. And continue counting them. I don't want to mention other names. And the second type ni wenye wanaibiwa, sisi tunaibiwa. Kama sisi tunaibiwa, we can come together and take one of us so that one of us can take home some of them or all of them, those who steal from us. We reform the country. The formula is simple, and that should be the main narrative. It's not about Kikuyus versus the rest of Kenya. It's not about Kalenjins and Luos. It's not about the rich and the poor. It is wenye wanaiba ambao wanafanya nchi iwe maskini na wenye wanaibiwa ambao ni maskini kwa sababu kuna wezi wengi wanaiba pesa wengi. And they still badly not Ethiopians. Ethiopians are stealing and using that money in their economy. For us, these people are stealing and taking the money outside. And that's why our economy is stagnating, but Ethiopian economy is working. So for me, Adani, wenye wanatuibia. Shah, wenye wanatuibia. All these budgets and finance bill, I don't know what, wanatuibia. So that's what we need to be drilling down. Because wananchi, like you said, Wendy, they don't know too many analysis. Just tell them, ninyi ni mnaibiwa ama wenye wanaibiwa. Sisi tunaibiwa, tuko pamoja. Nani huyu anasema anasimama, huyu ni mwenye anatuibia, tumpeleke nyumbani. Simple message. And we go on. But if we continue going around those, what, then we see, is Morara among those who are being stolen from? Yes. Kasmuel, of course, yes. Okia Mtata, yes. Fred Ogola, yes. Wendy, Redemptor. Then we form a team, sisi tunaibiwa, na wenye wanatuibia wanaenda nyumbani. Then we separate it that way and we become tribeless. But we are based on agenda that the main problem in this country is accountability, and anybody who has no accountability ni wenye wanatuibia na lazima waende nyumbani. For me, that is what I would say for now. Sorry for making it long, but Redemptor, I don't think I'm giving up for anything. But of course, you cannot do activism for 50 years and you have to feed a family. So of course, I am talking about transitioning to offering leadership. Like I want to go to Kisumu, set up in Uzima University, build a hospital there, 600 inpatient hospital, create some jobs for some people across the country, ensure I sort out the healthcare issues which are stuck there. I'm trying to mobilize funding from Norway. Those are now what now I want to do. Because if I shout on the street, Ruto must go, then I'm also going nowhere. And Ruto is going nowhere. And the problems are going nowhere. Then we are just the same as William Ruto. We want to show William Ruto there are some things we can do. That's why you say on my Twitter handle, the president out of office. That is now my move. That's leadership now. So the first thing, let me start with the issue of Morara. I have gone and discussed this on television again extensively, that we should never jump on another Ruto. When I say another Ruto, I don't mean this. I will say that Kenyans should be very much aware of false prophets because there are very many at this time. And I also say that we should identify who are the enemy from within the revolution because they are more dangerous than the enemy of William Ruto because we know him as the enemy and he knows us as his enemy. But if you have the enemy from within, it's more dangerous than having from outside. I was with the Booker. Booker is here. We had a lot of meetings at National Coordination of People's Assembly at Okio Mtata's house. And I was telling Booker that I had a lot of challenges with hearing from this man called Maxwell. I could see a lot of behaviors that were not really up to task. There's a time when Buka was trying to tell me, oh, he's a celebrity. I told him, no. Even if you're a celebrity, I am a corporate governance expert. You must play by the rules. If you can't play by the rules of a team, it means you want to break the rules of the team. How will you be if you become a leader now that you are a de facto leader? And I was doing strategic planning even for Barcelona Football Club. If you're a player who wants to play as if you are a star and ignore the team rules, you get kicked out from the team. And of course, it went on. So, just to follow the issue of Morara, we need to do due diligence. In China, before you get a loan from the bank, you have to be checked from nursery school. Who was your teacher? What do they think about you? Who was your classmate? Did you attend class? How are you performing? Were you diligent or you are one of the people who are stealing pencils and rubbers? You have to check you from primary school, secondary school, university. Where do you work? Who is your neighbor? What do they think about you? Do you beat your wife? All that has to be done to be given a loan. What about giving someone an economy worth 2.2 trillion, even without checking where they went to school like we did William Ruto? We never checked. If people check Ruto's background before voting him, Ruto could have gotten 2% of votes in Kenya. And I went on TV to shout that very loudly before the election. I was seen to be a Luo who is defending a fellow Luo, and therefore Ruto saw I was supposed to be fired from Strathmore and lose my job. And why I was even saying this to Redemptor that when one of your soldiers loses a job, and the people working with him continues demanding money from him, contribute here. This guy has lost a job where he was working, and I was not someone who was unqualified. I was qualified. And we continue having people who are just demanding from you. They don't even say, why the way this guy lost his job? How is he surviving? And the challenges were that, for example, Redemptor, when someone who has got certain kind of lifestyle leaves a job, it's difficult from someone who lives in Kawangware and has low expenses, isn't it? It's a different story. I'm sure I'm not talking about class here. I've gone through it for 2 years or a job. I didn't give up. So I was telling Redemptor, if you are there and you continuously being called, Professor, come and join the government of William Ruto, because you are suffering, because they know what they did. They wanted to sabotage me economically so that I can join them. So I'm trying to say that people need to have been given a due diligence. William Ruto, who fires a professor from Strathmore, which is a private school, already there was a lot of signs there was something wrong. So even this Morara person, even if you want to call them, Mukio Mtata can also be a leader. Have you done a proper due diligence about those people and know what do they have, what don't they have? Do they even qualify to be in the ballot? I heard Wendy saying that you will start with Morara up to the last moment. Can Morara qualify to be in the ballot? I don't want to talk about him, but I'm asking those questions. So let us just do on everybody, not Morara, not Caswell, not only Fred Ogola, but before you bet on somebody, let us do proper due diligence and say, yes, this is somebody worth betting on. So that's the first point I have about the issue. Then, of course, the issue of the political parties and the rest. Let me say that there is no political parties in Kenya. Even there's an article I've written saying there is no political parties in Kenya. Whatever you have in Kenya are called sororities and fraternities. Sororities and fraternities are just what people pretend to be political parties. A political party is like ANC, is like CCM, is like Democratic Party or Republican Party. In Kenya, you're being treated, they have national appeal, nothing. Those parties belong to individuals. There is no political party in Kenya. So even assessing which one you can bet on, the fact is there's none. So we need to find out what are the forms of political parties that we can have. Even if I belong to one political party, I still believe they are not political parties yet. They are just some fraternities of some kind. I have written something that I'll share with you, Redemptor, then you can share with these people. There's an article, I just wrote a brief one on who really rules Kenya. And there's a question asked, what is a political party? Isn't it? And maybe if you allow me, we just try to define what's a political party. This is not theoretical, but these are based on practical things. That political party brings together citizens in a given country who have similar or common socio-political interests. And that's not what brings here. And the political party normally seeks to influence the state to advance or favor the interests of its members by attempting to occupy positions of power in government. That's also true that they do. Maybe Communist Party will be able to succeed on this, but also political parties seek to persuade the broader society that the advancement of parties' agendas or interests benefit all of society, and so society at large should vote for the party or its representatives and members. But that's not what we do. So I'll send you this piece, maybe just for your socialization. Maybe if I'm an academic, you can now put it in a layman's language later on. But I don't want to spend time doing any lecture on this matter because there's no need. We have just come here to share as equals. And also, Wendy, look at me just like an equal. Don't see me as a professor. I'm not here because of a professorship, because other professors are not here. So I'm just here as a Kenyan whom, even with ignorance or a bit of small knowledge, wants to advance the cause of its country. So on the issue of vetting, Wendy, it's not theoretical. I'm saying before we jump on Babu Owino, you remember, even if you see Booker coming here, Booker can tell you, when Babu Owino wanted to unite with us, I told people, if you allow Babu Owino to come here and take a photo with us, I will walk out. I cannot appear on the same frame with him because I done my background study. Even if Luos should reunite, we cannot reunite with thieves just because we are Luos. So I have an issue, not that I have an issue with him as a person, but it is because of me. I want to mix oil with water. So if I'm oil, I want to go where water is. And that is very clear. I would rather fail but not start walking this path now. Sorry, then, Wendy, what I'm trying to say, before you jump on anyone and saying this is the person, ask the right question. For example, did Morara graduate as a degree holder? Answer the question yourself. I don't want to say because a professor will say somebody has no degree. He says an advocate. Did he go to the Kenya School of Law? When someone starts talking about their background and there's some things which does not add up, then there's a problem. When Babu Owino says he got a honorary doctorate from Benin, I have checked where he said he got it. People don't get doctorate degrees in a seminar. He says he got a doctorate degree in France in a conference. I'm an academic director for 12 years in Strathmore. Conferences never awards a doctorate degree or any degree, not even a certificate. You only get certificate of participation. You get a degree awarded, whether honorary or not, in a graduation. And there's nowhere else. Unless I'm an idiot, I've never been in a campus, but I've been an academic director for 12 years, where I approve people who graduate. Even Josephat Nanoka, I'm the one who approved him to graduate in Strathmore. I can count many names, but there's no need. So when you start seeing somebody with such background, it does not matter. When I heard Casimir saying he was expelled from Alliance High School 3 times, I know it's a lie. Alliance cannot expel you 3 times. The first expansion is enough. I've been a professor in Strathmore for 12 years. Strathmore made a mistake to fire me because of the president. They feel guilty. They have asked me to address the matter out of court, but they feel so proud that they can't take me back. And I know that. What about Casmel as a student of Alliance being admitted back? Alliance has a bigger ego than even Strathmore in this matter. So what I'm trying to say, when you see such like signs, you don't just jump on this, because Raila had all glaring signs, Ruto had glaring signs, all those guys who have done, Sonko had glaring signs, Babayo had glaring signs. We just banked on them. Kidero had glaring signs. We jump on them, and they ruined us. So I rather not even try to remove Ruto and replace Ruto with another Ruto and stay away from it. The risks are too high than to waste time. So we can do our own vetting and find a way forward on how we can go about it. And this is not ideological. Just asking somebody, where is your nursery certificate? Or where did you go in nursery? Where did you go in secondary? Did you go to high school? Did you have a certificate? Those are not ideological. They are practical, because even for you to join a high school, they ask you certificates of primary school. So when they don't give up, we are too lazy. And once we know the right person, then we give them the right support. And I said, it is not about those people only. Even Fred Ogola, ask, where did he go to school? Sometimes you might even like me more by knowing where I went to school. Like some people tell me, when you professor wa nini, hata wewe hujasoma, but people don't know that I got a PhD in an Ivy League school, fourth best business school in the world. People just think I went to JKUAT or University of Nairobi. It is that sacrifice I make for this society with all that qualification, putting such a head on the road where bullets are popping. It just means that it's a passion. People don't think that I lack what to do. That's what I was trying to tell Direnta that day that she got mad. If I want to work, I can go get a job elsewhere. I'll get this attraction. Okay, come to the US, get this job, wachana na activism. But we still sacrifice together to work. So I'm trying to say, let us know what sacrifices, who is making what sacrifice, and for what reason. When I was with Booker, I saw a lot of competition in that organization. Who should be the leader? Then I realized, okay, why should I be leaving my work, coming to sit in a meeting? Then I'm seeing somebody who has not even sacrificed anything, shouting at me in a meeting. So I'm not fighting with young people. Let me step back and watch until they succeed. Then I can now join their success and support them. So what we are trying to say here, do due diligence on everybody, and no one is special. Everyone should be given a due diligence. In IBC will even ask William Ruto to submit his ID and his list like any other individual to be cleared to run for president. So for that matter, let us not shy away from due diligence, the least that we can do to avoid what mistake we made later on. And I want to end by saying that even if Morara has got the issue he has, he should not be isolated. Bring them in. You need every single person because there's something he brings. Kasmil, there's something he brings. Okio Mtata, Fred Ogola, Wendy, Redemptor, 254. Let us know we are all Kenyans and just come with what you can offer. Don't come with a lie, but just come with what you can offer. We come together and form a movement that can win.